Here's Larry Coats of Coats Saddlery talking about the proper positioning of the saddle.
Hi, I'm Larry Coats with Coats Saddlery, and I'm here today at the USTRC Finals and team roping, and I'm going to give you a little spiel on a proper position that a saddle should fit on a horse's back. I get this question asked me all the time over the phone. So I'm going to start with a tree, and then I'm going to put a saddle on him, but this is what we call the shoulder blades of a horse. This is like the scapula. These little deals right here, when the horses are running, they're like two little cylinders running up and down. So if you try to set the saddle up on top of the shoulder blades right here, they're going to restrict them, and then pretty soon you got to take your horse to a chiropractor, and he'll get out in the shoulders and maybe the rib or something like that. So the saddle is designed to fit behind. This is the wither, what we call the wither of the horse, and this is the backbone right through here. Goes back to the loin. Well, the shoulders, the scapula of the horse is designed for the saddle to sit behind, so that when it takes a jerk, it doesn't go up over the horse neck. So anyway, I want to set this tree on him, and I'm going to show that this is the shoulder blade right here. Here's the front of the bar. This is what we call the bar pad of the tree right here. And the bar pad wants to sit right on the wither. Here's the withers right behind the shoulder blade. So the front part of the bar is designed to flare up a little bit, so it starts on the back side of the shoulder blade. We don't want it way back here, but we want it to kind of rest right behind that shoulder blade, so it sits right there like that. So this is the proper spot that we have the blades. And a lot of people, on my riggings, I put my riggings and I set them at 7/8. So the bottom, or the D-ring is going to sit about right here, right down through here. Well, then they say, well, we got to slide this saddle up so that the girth is right up in here, see? Well, that's not a proper way of doing it. You put that saddle where it belongs, and then you go ahead and cinch it. If you feel like the cinch is too far back, just go ahead and reach it up and tighten it up. Let that cinch angle, because that's a good thing, because you're getting more pull from the back of the saddle. That's the reason why I set my riggings at 7/8, so that we get more pull. We release the pressure up here on the shoulder blades of the horse. And so anyway, that is the most correct way of putting a horse's back. Now, what I tell a lot of people is they don't understand where it goes. Well, how do you know this when the saddle's already built, okay? I'm going to put this saddle on him here in a minute, but what you do is you go ahead and just throw it up there. I don't care if you throw it up there a little bit too high like that. Go ahead and cinch it up loose, you know. Walk them around in a circle 2-3 times. That saddle is going to slide back where it belongs. Don't reach up there and put it back up there. If that saddle slides back right there, leave it alone. That's the happy place, what we call the happy place of the saddle. So leave it go where it's supposed to go, because the saddle knows where it's supposed to go on a horse's back. Now, this is kind of leading you astray a little bit, but if a saddle wants to slide back too far, then we're having issues with the saddle, and you better get a hold of your local saddle maker to find out what the heck's wrong with it, because it should not slide back that far. But if you got it way up here and it slides back about right in there, then we're looking good. So let me grab this other saddle here and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay, when you get, of course you're going to have pads and everything up here, but if you want to just reach underneath the pad, and you can feel the bar pad underneath here, and the bar pad is always going to be right, this is the swell of the saddle, the bar pad is going to be right here in the middle of the swell, and that's where it's at. So if you want to slide the saddle back, and you're thinking, okay, it needs to be about right there, you slide that in there, kind of shake it a little bit, because it's going to get in there. So the front of the skirt should actually cover the shoulder blade, the scapula right here, because you're not going to see it, but it's not, the bar pad is 2 inches from the front of the skirt on my saddle. Other saddle makers might be a little bit different, but figure that the front of that bar pad is going to be about right here where this concho's at. So anyway, that's the proper sit. You can see where my rigging are. See, it's about right in here. So I like the rigging back behind the shoulder blade, or the shoulder of the horse, so it doesn't, gouge in them. And so you've got plenty of room to work right here. And if you feel like you want it up there a little bit more, just reach it up there and cinch it up. And that way, the angle of that latigo and the cinch is at an angle, and you're getting pulled back from all the way up. Because that's the way my riggings are designed on a saddle. It ties in all the way around the back, all the way around the front, so you get pulled from all the way from the back of the saddle. So that right there is a proper spot. And like I said, if that thing, a lot of guys, I see a lot of guys, they throw that old saddle way up there on top of that neck up like that. Because they think, well, you know, then they'll call me up and they say, well, the front of my saddle is way off my horse's back. Well, sure, it's going to be way off the horse's back, sitting on them shoulder blades. So you got to slide that thing right there. And that's where it sits, right there. And, you know, you've got to have a little, of course, it's a brand new saddle. It's not going to sit down on until you get it broke in a little bit. But if you got a lot of pressure up here in the front, you're supposed to have a little bit of pressure up in the front, because if you don't have pressure up here in the front, this saddle, when you take a jerk, it's just going to slide all the way up on it. And so therefore, you know, we want to make good contact up here in the front of your saddle to keep it from sliding forward. And so anyway, that's pretty much all there is about the proper position for a saddle. And if you have any questions, you'd be glad to call me at the saddle shop. Thank you very much.